This is a true story. It happened to a friend of mine. Billy was one of those kids who wouldn't listen to anybody about anything. When he was 5 and had the chicken pox and his mother told him not to scratch, he did. When he was 6 and his dad said never ride no hands down the hill, he did. And when his grandma told him to always wear clean underwear in case you get in an accident, well, when Billy broke his leg, he had to go to the hospital and, you guessed it, the whole family was disgraced. But worst of all was Billy's faces. Oh, he only had one face, mind you, but the things that boy could do with it. Billy always sat in the back seat of the minivan, making faces at the people in the passing cars. A couple from Medicine Hat nearly ran off the road. Billy's impression of a half-dead zombie was that good. Twins in an Oldsmobile cried all the way to Grandma's house because they caught a glimpse of his Frankenstein rotting look. And every time Billy made a face, his mother yelled, "Someday, a trick wind's gonna come along and your face is gonna get stuck like that." Well, one day, the family went on a trip to Niagara Falls. A gentle breeze swirled up over the cliffs surrounding the falls, and Billy was up to his old tricks. Everywhere there was a tourist and a video camera, Billy was there too, jumping in with a face that had cracked the lens. His classic melting monster with a pug-shaped nose and cheeks pulled back to distort his eyes and mouth. He was leaning far out over the rail to sneak into the shot of a busload of vacationing seniors when the breeze suddenly switched. First one direction, then another, then it kind of flipped and bang-o! A tourist from Halifax noticed Billy when the wind took its final twist. "Hey, little fella, you better not be making faces like that. One day a trick wind will come along, and it'll get stuck like that." But it was too late. The trick wind had already come. Billy looked like one of those horror flick monsters, only Billy was real. And his grotesque face was locked in place. The doctors tried everything. They attached special braces to his cheek muscles to get him to relax. They wouldn't. They made a plaster cast from his grade 3 picture and tried to force his new face in there. No go. They showed him educational children's programming for hours, hoping the boredom would make him slack-jawed. But his face was stuck. It was a real old-timer that came up with the last thing to try. He was watching TV in his big double-wide, and there was Billy in all his glorious grossness. He'd made the local news. That's when an old memory struck the old-timer. About some kid his grandpa knew, way back in the 17-something. Kept making faces out the back of the buggy. "He keep thee making ye face like that, and one day a tricked wind will come along and stick ye that way." And he remembered what they had to do to get the twisted-up face to unstick itself. They had to find the same trick wind running backwards, and the face would reverse itself. So they harnessed Billy to a safety line and hired one of those tour helicopters to take Billy for a few turns around the falls. The idea was to skim close to the cliffs and fly backwards to catch that same trick wind in reverse. And skim they did. Billy's hair flew round, making his hideous monster face even more hideous. Little girls went screaming into their mother's arms. Little boys watched and guessed how far Billy would fall when the rope broke. The chopper swooped low over old folks. Billy's lips pushed back in the wind, forming a freaky skeletal grin. Still, his face was stuck. Then the safety rope started to twist round and round, picking up speed and sending Billy spinning at a stomach-churning clip. Then the rope hit its maximum tightness before it started untwisting back again, even faster than before. And then it happened. A breeze blew up from the cascading waters. The rope got a little giggle in it. Billy took one last flip to the right, and bang! His face unstuck and morphed right back to the way it had always been. Maybe even a little better. This is a true story. It happened to a friend of mine. Oh, well, Billy learned his lesson all right. For about 5 seconds. On the way home, he just couldn't resist one last big ghouly face. Too bad he left that window open.